Good morning, friends. Welcome to your Shifting Out of Stress class. I'm so happy to be here with you and seeing some familiar names and faces. All right, so yeah, this is your Shifting Out of Stress class. I'm Jen, your guide for today's class. And really, this class is designed to support you in just kind of letting go of some of that maybe nervous system tension, the stress, the anxiousness, and just coming back to a more grounded place. So yeah, let's start with our quote, and then I'll kind of share a bit about our theme for today, all about cultivating harmony. I'm just going to put up our quote in the chat here. So this quote I just actually came across in the Open Meditation app. I use that app, and they always share quotes, which is kind of nice. So this is by Marcus Aurelius. He said, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe," which I think is just a really nice, simple reminder to just that when we're, in that sense of like alignment and harmony within our own minds, bodies, beings, that sort of spills out into the rest of our lives and with the universe. And I like the idea of the word harmony versus maybe something like balance. I think harmony gives us a little more freedom to, things don't always have to be in perfect balance, but more harmony. Maybe certain areas of life are more present at certain times, but that still feels harmonious to you, even though it's not like technically fully balanced, So that just resonated with me. So we're going to sort of focus a little bit on this idea of cultivating harmony today. And hopefully that will support you as you head into your weekend. Cool. All right. So we'll start, as always, with our tapping practice, just to kind of bring our bodies, back into that more centered place, ground us a little bit, so then we can go into our journal practice feeling really good. So for anyone who might be new to tapping, it's a physical practice. I'll be guiding you through the whole thing, so not to worry, but we'll be tapping on certain points of the upper body and the face, and we'll be saying statements as we move through each point. So I'll be saying that statement and then leaving time for you to repeat after me. You can do that either out loud or in your head, whatever feels good. And yeah, you can really just follow along. It doesn't matter sort of which hands you use to tap or how fast you go, just whatever kind of feels good for you. Okay. Sorry to hear under the weather, Noelle. Sending you lots of love. Still happy you're here. All right. So before we dive in, maybe just take a moment to take a deep breath and kind of get comfortable wherever you are right now. And just noticing how you're feeling in your body and your mind. Just noticing maybe the level of stress or any uncomfortable feelings or emotions that are up. And you can rate that intensity on a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 being the most intense and comfortable. And then we'll come back to that rating at the end. Okay. All right. So when you're ready, we can begin tapping. So we'll begin tapping on the side of the hand first, whichever side you want to do. And this is called the karate chop point right here. And we'll begin with our setup statements. So I'll be saying our statements and leaving time for you to repeat after me as we go, and I'll prompt us through the points and just, be leaving that time for you to repeat after me, okay? All right, so we'll begin here. Even though I'm feeling some stress right now, so just repeating after me. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel a little bit of misalignment at the moment, I accept myself and how I'm feeling. Okay, moving to the eyebrow point here. All right, all of this stress I'm feeling right now. Side of the eye. I'm noticing it in my mind and in my body. Under the eye. And I just generally feel a little bit misaligned. Under the nose. And I'd really love to feel more harmony internally and externally right now. Under the mouth. But I'm just noticing this stress in my mind and body. Collarbone. And I'm noticing it in my mind, maybe with some swirling thoughts, overthinking, ruminating. Under the arm. And I notice it in my body also with just tension. Top of the head. And even though I'm feeling some of these uncomfortable thoughts and feelings right now, eyebrow, I'm giving myself permission to just drop into this present moment. Side of the eye. I'm safe to feel whatever is up for me. Under the eye. I'm just bringing my awareness to the sensation of tapping on my body. Under the nose. Just allowing that to feel really soothing for my mind and my body. Under the mouth. And give myself permission to welcome in a sense of harmony. Collarbone. I am safe to let go of whatever stress I'm feeling. Under the arm. Just giving myself full permission to just be present here this morning. Top of the head. I am safe to let it all go and be present in my body now. Okay. We'll stop tapping. If you feel called, maybe bring your hands to your body, maybe to your heart. Just letting that sink in for a moment. And just noticing how you're feeling now in your body and your mind. And noticing if perhaps the intensity of that stress has come down a little bit. You can re-rate how you're feeling now on that scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most intense and comfortable. Just noticing if that has shifted for you. And sometimes even the smallest of shifts can make a big impact. So if you feel called, maybe share in the chat how that felt for you. You could share your rating, maybe where you started and where you're at now. Is there anything you really noticed from that practice? I think it's always pretty cool how just a few minutes of tapping can typically help us even just a little bit to feel a little more grounded and present. And even for me, as I teach it, I get the benefit. So I think I went from like a 7 to a 4. So pretty good. Elizabeth from a 9 to a 7. Beautiful. Yeah, love those shifts, especially when we're really high on that scale. Like, I feel like coming down even 1 or 2 points, like really, you really notice it. So Blake said, feeling centered for a busy day ahead brought me down from a 9 to a 6. Magic. Love that thing. Yeah, it does feel like magic sometimes, doesn't it? And it's a tool right at our fingertips in any moment. So it's pretty cool. All right. Love it. Okay, I'm going to copy over our first prompt. So Pamela from a 7 to a 3. Wow, Pamela, that's amazing. That's a big shift. Cool. All right, so let's pull out our journals or whatever you have to write with. And I'm going to post this in the chat right now. So we're going to start with just a little exercise to kind of identify any sort of misalignment or anywhere that is feeling kind of disharmonious for you right now. So it could be internally, within your physical body, in your mind, or externally in your life. So something in your routine or your schedule or something like that. I had one more example that I didn't get. Let me put that there. My last example. There we go. So a couple examples that I had for this. So I've been having some digestive issues the last few weeks, which makes my body feel quite out of alignment and out of harmony. I've noticed some ruminating on work stuff this week. My mind feels stuck and not able to get out of that pattern. And then the last one, our weekday evening routine with Noah doesn't feel like it's working or flowing. I always feel like I'm trying to make her do the next thing in our routine and she doesn't want to do it. But maybe this is just toddler life. So it just kind of feels like I'm working against everything with that. Maybe some of you can relate if you're parents. So let's take a few minutes on this. So really just jotting down like kind of anything that feels misaligned, disharmonious, could be internally or externally in your life. Okay, so we'll take a few minutes and then we'll come back together and share what came through. Okay? Let's do it. Perfect. So, yeah, if you feel called to share what came through for you on that one, feel free to do so. I see Noelle shared, I had a few nights of poor sleep, which makes me overall feel not great. I've noticed that I'm getting bogged down by work lately and haven't been as optimistic as usual. Focusing has been really challenging lately as I find myself trying to do many things versus slowing down for what truly matters. I resonate with a lot of that, Noelle. It's so tough when you've got a few things like the sort of like the physical aspects of like not sleeping, not feeling like physically well, and then you've got some of those stressors or things with work, and yeah, it's so tough. I sending you lots of love. Know that you're not alone in those feelings for sure. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I find this one interesting because like, you know, thinking about sort of some of the areas where it's more internal misalignment or external, like there's sometimes we just kind of feel like this like tornado of like uncomfortable and like so it's helpful to like pinpoint, you know, exactly what some of those things are where maybe it's just like felt kind of just like everything all at once, you know. Okay, so Blake shared feeling a level of uncertainty in my career path as I'm starting to apply for a new full-time job. I know it's the right move for me, but feeling self-doubt after years of working on my own and not on a traditional career path. Yeah. Oh, I've been there too before. Yeah, it's for sure. It's tough to kind of feel like you're, you know, just starting on a new journey that feels a little bit like unfamiliar and yeah, but exciting too. Yeah. I see the little celebration emoji from Carrie, which is awesome. Okay, Carrie, my habit of scrolling way too much is out of alignment with how I desire to show up for my healthiest self. Oh, relatable. So relatable. Like all of these are like hitting things that I'm also feeling, which means probably a lot of us are. Yeah, scrolling. Oh my gosh. I feel like I will often delete the apps and then get them back. And I've started planning a trip. So I got back TikTok because I wanted to like look up some stuff. So it is a good resource, but now I'm just back to scrolling again, which is not good. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Carrie. But that's like, that inspires me to delete my apps again too. Yeah. All right. Cool. So let's do our next one here. I'm going to copy this one over. So this one, we're going to bring in a couple like kind of affirmations for ourselves around being deserving of that sense of harmony and flow, and that it's possible for us, right? So these statements can kind of be like antidotes to each of the situations you jotted down in the first prompt, or just general statements that sort of help support what you're feeling right now. So I did a couple examples of just ways you could structure these statements, but you know, whatever you feel called to. So for my first one, I said, I give myself permission to feel feel healthy physically. I'm safe to relax and let my digestion come back into balance. I'm safe to let go of these repetitive, stressful thoughts about work. My mind can slow down and release any attachments. We deserve an easeful evening routine. I give myself permission to rethink how we've always done it and find something more aligned to the current phase we are in. So I find it helpful to use, like I give myself permission to, I'm safe to, and just, or I deserve, or those type of like setup statements. And then just really kind of jotting down whatever feels good to support you in, you know, feeling deserving and worthy of having that harmony and flow and alignment for yourself. Okay. All right. Let's take a few minutes on this one and then we'll come back together. together whenever you feel ready. And if you feel called to share any of the statements you wrote down, you can put those in the chat. I hope that was helpful in just giving you sort of, I find these to be kind of like nice anchors to come back to, antidotes for when you're in those moments where things feel really hard, and just give you a little boost that you deserve to feel harmony in your life. I think sometimes we get really used to things just feeling, kind of out of alignment or disharmonious. And so just reminding ourselves that we feel worthy of that and that's possible for us is helpful. Okay, Noelle shared a few. Awesome. I'm worthy of setting myself up for and getting good sleep. I'm allowed to establish the boundaries for this that support my own thriving. I love that, Noelle. I deserve to find joy and expansion through even the trials of working a challenging time. It's okay to focus on the present and know that what I'm doing is enough. Beautiful. I give myself permission to slow down and limit distractions. It is good to be present with myself and this world. Those are so lovely, Noelle. Beautifully written. Thank you for sharing. I want to steal those for myself. Thank you so much. Love it. All right. Let's move into our last prompt here. So our last one, we're going to focus on creating a little bit of like an action plan for ourselves for even just like even today or just this weekend. Like it doesn't have to be something long-term, but just something simple that we can do to help cultivate a little more harmony for ourselves. So again, you can kind of follow like the scenarios or things that you've been working on throughout the prompts, or just any general ideas that you think will help you feel more in alignment, more harmonious. So my examples, I kind of follow the same situations that I mentioned above. So with the digestive piece, I said, try a digestive enzyme before meals, start the day with lemon water, book a naturopath appointment. Plan to chat with my manager about this work situation that I keep ruminating on. So just like do something about it instead of keep thinking about it. And then lastly, for the sort of the routine piece with my daughter, maybe wait until she says she's hungry to sit down for dinner, and it feels like I'm always trying to force her to eat. Start bath time a bit earlier so we can move slower. And lastly, try getting her into pajamas while we're downstairs versus in her room. Which, if you don't have kids, these might sound a bit trivial, but maybe things that might just help like shake things up a bit. So yeah, let's take a couple minutes on this one. So just making a little action plan for yourself, some simple things you can do maybe today or this weekend to cultivate a little more harmony, help you feel a little bit more in alignment. Yeah, Blake says early bath is a game changer. Okay, I like it. I'm going to try that then. I need all the advice from those who've gone before me, so I love it. Okay, yeah, let's do this one and then, yeah, we'll come back together. friends. Let's come back. We'll make sure we can kind of wrap up before we come to the top of our class here. But I would love to hear if you want to share any of the items from your action plan, anything you think is going to support you to feel a little more harmonious, a little more in alignment, and kind of set yourself up to feel good, today, this weekend. Noelle said, tidy your bedroom, including washing all the bedding and windows. Ooh, yeah. Create a space I want to sleep in. Love that. Move magnesium somewhere easier to access for nighttime. Oh, smart. I should do that too, actually, Noelle. Yeah. Yeah, really good ones. I do. Thank you so much. Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, this was just lovely as always to be here with all of you. Thank you so much for your presence, for going on this journey of this class together. I hope you feel, a little more harmonious in your mind, your body, and that you have a little action plan to help support you as you head into your weekend. And just feel a little more grounded, I think, as well, hopefully. Awesome. Hey, my loves, wishing you beautiful rest of your Friday. Hope you get some really nice time this weekend, maybe outside or with family or friends. And looking forward to seeing you again on my next class soon. Okay, thanks, my loves. Take care. Bye.